is Rena, and I am excited to hear that you are reopening your childcare program. I am sure that it is somewhat daunting. I wanted to talk to you about financial considerations you may want to think about as you move along that pathway towards reopening. First, I want to mention that I think it's really important to acknowledge the difficult decisions that may have to be made in the future, and to communicate this to parents and staff as well. I think in this unprecedented time, certainly difficult decisions that we never have had to make before may have to happen, and it's important to be all on the same page with regard to that. Consider too changes that may need to be made to your financial policies and procedures. For instance, determine what hours of operation may be most cost effective for your program and create a plan for updating that schedule as circumstances change. Decide how families will pay tuition. If you haven't gone fully automated at this point, you may want to consider doing so. Address possible future emergency closures and determine what your withdrawal policy will be for families. Address also possible termination of care due to suddenly reduced group sizage, which may happen. For instance, will you temporarily suspend care for families with only one child in your program? How will you determine which families you will suspend services to or need to suspend services to? If you do experience an emergency closure, what will families be obligated to pay during that time? Will tuition be collected at 100% for the first 2 weeks, and then 50%, and then 25%? Will you continue your program virtually, and how will that affect your tuition rates? You also want to consider policies and procedures with regard to finances for staff members, and think about changing, if necessary, the contract that you have with them. Decide whether staff will be expected to teach virtually in the event of an emergency closure, and put this into their contract. Determine how an emergency closure will affect staff pay rates and how long you'll be able to sustain this schedule. Consider changes to your sick leave policies with regard to COVID-19. For instance, if a staff member has a confirmed COVID-19 test, will they be allowed additional days off since the recovery process can be a lengthy one? Will health insurance be maintained for staff under an emergency closure? And will they be able to use their paid leave during that time? Address the topic of unemployment and make sure that staff know how to file if necessary. Last but not least, if you can, think a little bit further into the future. I know that is probably very challenging for all of us, but consider establishing an emergency fund in the future if you don't already have one. Allow parents, grandparents, friends, and even community members donate to that fund, and preferably in an automatic way. Ensure that all of your financial records remain consistently organized and accessible, and seriously consider purchasing a secure and reliable automated service to take care of your finances for you. This way, you can easily access documents and data if you need to apply in the future for a loan or a grant. Finally, we at the Resource Center wish you all the best, and we are here to support you. So please don't hesitate to contact us. Best of luck.